All right.
Here we are with my crazy hairdo.
Your hair looks pretty.
Well, thanks. I had it in a clip all day, and then I took it down, and I probably should have left it up, but that's okay.
Right.
And today, I'm going to share this out on stories, I think. See if we can get more friends in here from the TikTok.
Yes, good idea.
Get off. Jack's going to steal the show, I have a feeling.
Well, if you hear one whining, mine's laying behind me, so.
Sir, where did all this energy come from? Oh my gosh. Okay.
All right, we got a couple of people on. Give it just a minute. Be sure to share this out if you're watching us and comment what platform you're watching us on so we can make sure all of them are working, whether you're on Facebook, YouTube, or you're coming in from. Real quick, Julie, you like my shirt?
Yeah. Oh my gosh, I didn't even notice. So cute. That's what I get for showing up so late. Love it. You guys got your hoodies, right?
Yep.
Okay, I was making sure. I just
Super comfortable.
Jack, what? Holy moly.
All right, well, I guess we get started and just let people join when they join. So I'm Ashley from Last Call Catfishing.
And I'm Julie with Run and Gun Catfishing.
We are just going to chat away tonight.
I'm not seeing it showing up on YouTube. I'm on it on my phone and I don't see it. I'm about to kick you out, dude.
Hi, Jim. Thanks for joining us tonight, Mr. Davis.
Oh, here we go. I found it. Oh my gosh, I'm being attacked. Here we go.
So while we're waiting for more people to join, you guys have any big plans coming up? Any big tournaments or anything you're doing?
I don't honestly know. I know Charlie's out of town. He's in Alabama until Sunday. He's coming home. And I know today they finally got a nice one. Hey, Carla, how are you? They got a 50 in the boat today. I do know that. It was pretty slow. And I was like, why aren't you going down where Mr. Keegan was at? Because Keegan was tearing them up.
Yeah, he was.
Like, that's a pretty far drive. I said, well, if you're not catching that much, it's probably where I'd head. I mean, what's the drive? What's it matter at this point, you know? So, but I can't think. I'm sure he has some in mind, but I'm not privy until it's closer to the day because usually I can't remember. What about you? What do you guys have coming up?
We don't have much coming up. We're supposed to do a vet trip this weekend. Weather permitting, it keeps changing. I hope it changes again because right now it's like a 92% chance of rain all day. But I just got off the phone with him and he's like, we're good. We're used to being out in the outdoors. We used to live in Alaska. So it's fine if you're fine. Like, okay. Then Michael's tournament is the 19th of May at Schmidt. And then the end of the month, we're coming to see you all. So I'm excited for that. To come to your area.
I'm excited. So I'm putting this up on, I'm going to see if it'll work on, like, see if people hop in from TikTok, but.
Yeah, I forgot to do that today. Hi, Jamie. Good evening. You made it on time this week.
Hey,
Usually
Jamie.
you hop in and tell us you're late.
Let's see. I'm going to make it so you can actually read it.
I'm hoping that Justin gets on here. I texted him today to see if he had anything that he wanted us to add for updates, but I haven't heard back from him. He was going to think on it. I haven't heard back from him, so we're just going to go.
I'm kind of curious.
Have you heard much about this reciprocal agreement stuff? I know we talked about it a little bit.
Yeah, not that, not of anything other than what you said. And I guess it's mostly because we don't really fish up that way that often. It's just whenever Charlie goes to the river at tournaments or the monster cat tournament. So we haven't really even looked into it. I don't know that Charlie has either, but based on what you said, let's let everybody know, because that's kind of a big deal.
Yeah. So,
Michael.
oh, thank you for correcting me, Jess. We're fishing on the 18th, not the 19th.
There we go. Yeah, you got all your dates wrong today.
I know. I'm just a mess today. Hi, Michael. I hope you guys are having fun at softball. Travis, how's it going? So the reciprocal agreement with Kentucky, it affects all of the states that border Kentucky waters. So Ohio, Indiana, Illinois, Tennessee,
What?
whatever borders Kentucky waters. And in the past, they would honor both states' fishing license, but it apparently expired. There was like a legality or something in the wording of it, the attorneys from Kentucky found. So it has to be completely rewritten and reapproved by all of the states affected. What that means for us fishing the Ohio River is that 3/4 of the river is owned by Kentucky and a very small portion is owned by Ohio. So they're telling us, at the beginning, they told us it wasn't going to be an issue. They would just let everybody know that it expired. Since then, they've changed their minds, apparently, because now they're stopping people to give them warnings to let them know that you need to have both licenses. So if you're fishing the Ohio River and you're pulling boards, say, down the river, and you have your Kentucky license and your Ohio license, because you never know where you're going to end up on the river. If you have lines in Ohio, you can only have 3 of them. It doesn't matter if you're pulling boards and you're on the Kentucky side. They're telling us that if you have lines in Ohio, it can only be 3 because that's the Ohio law. So we had one of our friends from River Rats drew up a picture for us. It's posted on our last call page. I think I posted it on the last run page. But it shows basically what we're saying. You can have unlimited lines, unlimited lods on Kentucky, but Ohio only allows you 3.
So down here, though, you just need a Kentucky license. It's business as usual, where it's Kentucky.
You're all in Kentucky, right? Like
yeah, in Illinois, like
yeah. So it'd be the same. It would be the same for like Illinois. Like if you're fishing the river and it borders Kentucky, but Kentucky owns most of the river, and you have an Illinois license, it's the same way, from what I'm being told.
So as a Kentucky resident, do I need an Illinois license, from what you understand?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Michael. Let Kelly know, because I'm like, I don't know. No, I always just thought it was Ohio, like the Ohio part. Well, good thing we haven't been fishing because everything's flooded, or we could. Well, if it's a warning, okay, that's fine. But
yeah. Well, the guy that they stopped, he said they were very nice. They were very polite. They told him they didn't agree with it too. Like the officers are just doing what they're told, and they're being told to give people a warning. And if it continues, then they will have to start writing citations. But we have to think of it like this. They're trying to stop the commercial fishing guys from taking all of our fish. Ohio does not allow commercial fishing. So if they're out on their water, I'm glad they stopped him. It was like 9:30 at night when they stopped this guy. So they didn't know what he was doing, and, just be thankful that they're out doing their job. We might not always agree with the way they do things, but they're trying.
Here's your drawing. This, I don't know if you can, I had to have like my body in front of it.
There you go. So on Julie's picture, you guys can see that the top part of that is in Ohio. Those are the 3 lines for Ohio. And then in Kentucky, you can have as many as you want because it's unlimited. But we've got that shared out on our pages. And yes, Travis, it is a good thing Ohio only owns part of the river.
But at the same time, they're better at, well, every state has their flaws when it comes to the catfishing world, huh? I was going to say, at least they don't allow commercial fishing, but you can ship in as much as you want from any other place. So it's like,
yeah.
What's better?
I know they were talking to some legislatures. We haven't heard back from them, from what I know.
Yeah.
Haven't heard any updates on that, but we're trying. We're still trying.
Yep. And it's a slow process no matter what. That's all
Yeah.
there is to it.
So just if you're fishing the Ohio River, just be mindful that you should probably have both licenses, an Ohio and a Kentucky license.
Yeah.
And like if you're doing a vet trip, like I told the guy we're supposed to take out, about it, and he has an Ohio license but not a Kentucky, so he's going to look into like the 1-day pass for him, the 1-day licensing for him, because it is expensive when you start buying all these fishing licenses. We joke and say that we traded in like our club memberships for like the Moose and Legions and all that for fishing licenses for out of state because they're so expensive.
Yes, and there is a lot of states that you end up going to.
Yep.
I got me flavored water today. Dana says I have both. Yeah, I don't know. I've never needed an Illinois license, so that's one that I don't think.
I mean, you could always check with them. You know what I mean? I don't know why it would be different than
I think I
Ohio.
already had one because when I went to St. Louis or whatever, maybe I don't know, or maybe that's Missouri.
Yeah.
I don't remember. 55 for Kentucky out of state, Dana said. Which I mean, it's not that big of a deal. I mean, all in all, but for some people it might be a little bit of a problem. Jeff, what's up?
So, since Mr. Watson is on here, he had a suggestion for us. First aid safety on the boat. Do you guys carry anything on your boat?
Yeah, we keep a whole kit, like the big kits, but that's really it. I mean, nothing, not an AED or anything.
Yeah, that's what we carry too. It's like a little pack thing, and it has like the gauze, the Band-Aids, sterile wipes, some gloves in there. We just want to suggest having that on your boat. There's an incident this week where there's a vet being taken out, and he slipped getting to the dock to get into the boat and cut his leg pretty bad. So the more stuff we have to kind of help with that stuff, if we would have had stuff to help get him cleaned up, maybe he would have been able to continue his trip, but we had to send him, it wasn't us, but the captain sent him back to go get it checked out, and he ended up getting some stitches. So it was a pretty good cut, but just something to also keep in mind. Yeah. It doesn't cost much to go get you some Band-Aids and wipes and stuff just to keep on hand. You never know when you could get a hook in your hand either, or the catfish. I don't know if you guys saw Anthony Brown's hand from down in Alabama, but he had one from the catfish.
I don't know if I did, but Charlie just got one little poke from a catfish in his finger, just like right in the knuckle. He's like, Julie, it looked like there was like almost like a splinter in it, but like just a little hole, and it got bigger and bigger and bigger to where it was throbbing. He had to get on like Augmentin, which is pretty strong. I mean, it'll make you sick. It's a pretty heavy duty antibiotic. They not made him, but like had him go get an x-ray just to make sure there wasn't any bone like damage, which there wasn't. But this catfish, I mean, even with gloves on, they'll tear you up. It always makes me laugh in the groups. I got out of all the catfishing like groups, the big ones on here. On Facebook, I got out of all those, but the people that would say, "Oh yeah, talking about gloves," I'm like, clearly you've not caught a very big catfish or very many big catfish because you're not going to handle them without gloves. Like that's just
even the little ones, like they're so slimy and feisty that sometimes the little ones are just as hard to hold as the big ones.
Yeah, and I just mean like those keratids, how they tear you up. Which I mean, we use grippers on the small ones and the gloves on the big ones, but yeah. So just to like add to the first aid kit, I'm on Amazon, 110 piece kit for $9.99. It's not that big of an expense, free shipping, and it's got tons of stuff in it. So that's a really good point. That was the one thing, hiking. I love hiking, and we were passing these women, and Maddie had just fell and scraped her knee or something, and it was, she needed a Band-Aid. But I didn't have any. I didn't even like think about it. And she's like, "Oh yeah, always carry one." So now I always carry one.
Hi, Gary. I hope Alabama's treating you well. Yes,
Hey,
Travis. Those Alabama fish do fight harder. And Mississippi. I don't know if you guys have ever been to Mississippi, but those fish are mean.
yeah, they have to go through all that rough current, so they're probably built different. Skipjack wants to be in the podcast today. What are you doing, Jackie?
Did he help you stack all that bait the other day?
Oh yeah, such a big help. He said to all his friends, get information, and I barely had to do anything. This is his 10 minutes of energy, and then he's gonna go lay down for the rest of the day. What you pay me?
Let's see, what else do we need to update people on? Do you have anything?
Do you want to share who's on next week, or do we want to wait?
Let's wait a little bit longer. If you guys can start sharing this out, we'll give it to about 8 o'clock, and then we'll announce our next few people.
Yes, we've got a couple podcasts planned out.
Yes, we do. Let's see. We've got a comment. Commercial guys have been seen here on Watts Bar, reported no effort to catch them, but they raised everything another 28% from the 21% last year. Anyone have thoughts? We have only been down there one time, so I don't know if any of our... We'll get to that comment in a minute.
Commercial guys have been here in Watts Bar. So they raised everything, like the fishing license. Is that what you mean, Justin? But no one came to check on the commercial guys. Maybe they need the extra budget to have more people come out and check those things.
Yeah.
That's fine. Gotcha.
I do know that in Ohio, the night that Jeff got stopped by the ODNR, there were some other guys throwing lines out, and I called the law enforcement division, and he gave me like his direct cell phone number and said, anytime we see stuff on the Ohio River like that, and it's questionable, to get as much information as you can as far as the boat, the description of the boat, the lines that they're throwing, what you see them doing, and to call him, and he will dispatch somebody to come out and check it out. So, I mean, I feel like that's a good thing to do. We've got to be in contact with our DNRs.
Mm-hmm.
And be polite.
We haven't been out for a couple weeks down here just because of the water being so high. So I'll be interested to see. But I mean, I guess when I went down there, not when I went down, because all I did when I went and got that bait stack, I just went and picked it up from our guy, but I didn't put in the effort to actually catch it, you see. But I didn't, there probably was a couple boats out, I would say, but I didn't really notice because I wasn't there very long. So let's hear your story.
So, since he wants to comment on it.
No.
We fished the Bama Blues in January, and it was cold, and the water was really cold, wasn't it? Do you remember?
Yeah, it was very cold.
Caught big fish every single day that we were down there, except on Saturday. And he didn't even want to go through the weigh-in line. And I'm like, no, we need to go through the weigh-in line, because what if you decide to do another Twisted Cat tournament? You get points for it. So let's go through the line. And if you ask him, it was like a 5-hour wait to get through the line. One of the dogs jumped off the boat and was just roaming around visiting people. And the other one was just hanging out, being a model. People were taking her picture. So we finally get up to the weigh-in line, and I grabbed the gloves because they were little fish, and I don't ever want to drop a fish, especially when you're on a live weigh-in.
Yes, of course.
Like that's a big thing. Like, I just like a fish.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So I pulled out the gloves. And when we pulled up to the stage, Alex was like, "Oh, they're gloving up. They must have some good ones." And Jeff was like, "Take off the gloves." I'm like, "I'm not taking off the gloves. It's cold. I'm not taking off the gloves." And our live well, like in the Sea Arc, it's so big, and those tiny little fish he pulled out like 2 of them, and I couldn't even find the third one because it was so small in the big live well. And so, like, we pulled out these 3 little fish that totaled like 14 pounds. And he's like, "You really had to have your gloves for that?" I'm like, "Yeah, I did."
Yeah, it was really
Dropped
cold. So
my
I'll give
fish.
you that. No kidding. Yeah, I do remember. Like when he put the comment up, I was like, I know this story from somewhere. And then, yeah, Bama Blues
Yeah,
for sure. That was so
that's
funny.
great.
He should have at least faked it. Charlie did he helped our friend Daniel, he's dog on TikTok. He put him on his PB, and Charlie caught this flathead. It was like this big. And later in the live, he, because you know how people jump in and out of lives, so they don't know like what's really in the live well. Well, I used it for content, but he like acted like he had this giant fish. He's like, oh, and he whips it out and flips this little deke on his shoulder. It was really funny. I can't believe YouTubers are not on here right now. I thought we'd get at least some YouTube comments. Normally we have a little, a slew of people coming in, but rods wasn't hot enough to keep your hands warm.
Not that day they weren't.
Yeah, and honestly, it gets so cold that it burns your hands because the water's so cold.
Yeah.
That is brutal.
And when your hands are cold, you can't grip them,
Yeah.
So, no, Trav. My gloves worked, so I didn't drop the fish.
So funny. So yeah. Let's see. What else do we want to say? Oh, so Charlie, they went to Bama Blues not Bama Blues. What was this one?
The Sea Arc. Yeah.
Sea Arc, yeah. Sea Arc Invitational. So he goes with Barbecue Mike. His last name's Meldrum, I think. And then Brian. And because Mike has the Sea Arc, right? So he invited him last year. And I don't know how they did last year. I don't remember. I don't know that they did that well. But this year they ended up getting 21st, I think is where they finished with 115 pounds. So
where?
115 pounds is what they ended up with. I think it was 21st is what I was told. I didn't go and confirm it, but I'm pretty sure. There we go. There's a YouTuber. What's up? Hey, Joshua.
Yeah, we were watching that weigh-in. That was a crazy weigh-in. How many teams did they have over 100 pounds? Like 36 teams or something like that?
I don't even know. I was going to go down and stream it, and then I just kind of decided not to because I don't really get to see my sister that much, so I hated taking out like chunks of hours and not knowing when the weigh-ins were actually supposed to. Because you guys, if you did not hear, the Sea Arc Invitational, they had a lot of fog, and they postponed the start time for the safety of the anglers. And there's also 2 bass tournaments going on at the same time that did not delay the start time. So,
I also want to mention that Alex Nagy, as he was announcing, there was a team that came in and they called him and they had a fish that was not doing well, and they called Alex. And so when they brought their boat in, they took the tote right to him, got that fish in the tote and brought it up and snuck it in to weigh it. And then they got in line to weigh the rest of their fish. But they wanted to be able to get that fish back in the water to give it the best chance of surviving. So I thought that was really, really respectable of them in a tournament like that to take the time to, make sure that the fish care was of priority.
That's awesome. Says, what's terrible is to go down there and catch fish and then have to come back and fish here, Travis said.
Yeah, totally agree on that one.
Dave's on YouTube now. He said, I'll watch from over here.
Hope you're having a good evening, Mr. Dave.
Dave, if you know anything, any new changes or updates or whatnot, and you have time to share, I know you're probably at work right now, but if you got anything, new revelations going on, that'd be sweet. What's up, Twisted Fishing? How are you? Yeah, Alex is good. I think he does a good job.
I'm really surprised that Jeremy isn't on here.
I know. What's he doing?
Call him out since he's not on here. Or Justin.
What are they, living a life or something? That's so weird. Everything's happening for the
I think they have something better
night.
to do on a Wednesday night.
Yeah.
Well, do we want to start dropping some hints as to who we have?
Yeah, let's do that. Does anybody have any guesses? Who wants to guess what our next guest, who it is? That would be really helpful because then we could use that as like new guests too. Okay, drop your guess who you think next week is going to be.
Or who you would like to see.
Yeah, both.
Yeah.
In local poaching matters, illegal hoop nets and such. Well, don't get caught up in the hoops. Tyler Barnes.
That's one to put on our list. That's a possibility.
Michael, what's your guess?
No, he can't guess.
Oh, does he know?
Yeah.
Michael. Trump. No. I
wish maybe he could help us make a difference.
Right? Increase the funding to the Fish and Wildlife.
Yeah. Now people are going to say they're not going to watch us anymore because we brought up Trump.
I know. Way to ruin it, Jesse. See, what are these? Our husbands are trying to tank us here.
Yeah.
Charlie wouldn't even be my guest today because he's on vacation.
Or Jesse.
Or Jesse. Catfish Dave. That's a guess. Anybody else?
Anybody else?
Anybody else want to guess? That's not very many guesses. You're back again? Not in the mouth.
So he's a big YouTuber. Do you have any hints for them?
Brandon, they're all equally ow. No.
He always has cheese on his boat.
He does what?
Always has cheese on his boat.
Oh.
Have you ever watched any of his videos? He always eats cheese.
I've just heard his videos. I've never watched them. I've just heard them because I can tell his voice. I'm like, I know who that is.
What else to do? Yeah.
Yep. You're getting really in my face here.
That's a good one, Michael. If we could have Charlie Weatherspoon and Jesse Flowers on together.
If Charlie wasn't on vacation, I could have gotten talked into it.
Okay, so next week, our show is going to consist of Jeremy Chase from Chase and Outdoors. We are super thankful for him. He's been a big help to us at finding guests and getting people lined up to keep this rolling. And next week, he has got for us, Julie, want to tell him?
Yep. It's Catfish Dave.
Catfish Dave is going to be on the last run.
Mm-hmm.
So we're super excited for that. Julie, did Charlie graduate from Ripley?
Technically no, but that is basically yes. Like that's where you would know him from. But he graduated homeschool. I don't know. But yeah,
Goldie will be a good one, Jeff. We will have to keep that in mind and reach out to him and see what his availability is. Because he fishes the river and all over. That's a good one. But next week we have Jeremy and Catfish Dave. And the end of the month, we said the 21st, right? Not the date that we
Yeah.
We've got a big one coming up. We've got Micah Burkhart, Anthony Brown, and TJ Hooker are all three going to be joining us for a special event talking about veteran suicide awareness and PTSD and what real therapy means to these guys, getting them on the water. Micah asked us if we'd be interested in doing that, and we absolutely, anything that we can do to bring awareness to that and get our vets out on the water, we were all for it. So we are very appreciative to the three of them for agreeing to do the show for us. and more so doing it so quickly. I wasn't really expecting them to be that available so soon, but we're going to roll with it. So,
yep, I think that's going to be a good one. And we'll talk more about your event, right?
yeah.
The details. So,
Yep.
you're about to drive me
Hopefully
crazy.
by then we'll have a picture to share for a raffle that we're going to be doing. That's a big one. Thanks to the Veterans Club of Manchester and Monster Cat Catfishing. As soon as we get images of that, we will get it loaded and start our raffle. But I think it's going to be a pretty good thing.
Absolutely. Jesse, I went to Hard Knocks. Usually your order in school. That's cool. I just am so curious what Charlie was like in school. Stories.
Hey, there's Chase. He's just a little late to the show.
We thought he was boycotting.
We just announced that you're going to be joining us next week, Mr. Chase, with Catfish Dave.
Let me chase your light. And Twisted Fishing. We are looking forward to participating in the Boots on the Water event.
Good. Have you signed up yet, Twisted Fishing?
We'll hear Catfish Dave tell a Christmas story.
I wonder how many times we're gonna have to meow during his show.
What is the meowing for?
Because when he says something while he's recording that he shouldn't say, he takes the cat and it meows over it to block out what he's saying.
For real?
Yeah.
That's so funny. Yeah, Charlie watches him a lot. He's been watching a lot of newer people too, that like just different people in general. I'm sure there's just more people that do YouTube than there used to be. Mm-hmm. But he's been watching.
Who do you guys all watch? Like, let's hear who everybody likes to watch on YouTube. We do this quite frequently because there's never anything on TV to watch. So, like, our top people to watch, of course, are Micah. We do watch Catfish Dave and BJC Outdoors from Alabama. Bradley Cross. Do you guys watch him? He's pretty good.
I don't know all the names, to be honest. Charlie just puts it on, and then I'm just there.
You know the voices.
Yeah.
And he likes to watch Sassy Cat.
Sassy Cat. Everybody's being shy. This weekend with Nate to fill it all out. So, yeah, he's got to get with Nate to fill out his captain's thing.
Yeah, tomorrow's May 1st, so we're going to start hitting up places for donations, sponsorships. So if you guys know places that we should hit, I've got 5 months. I did it in 8 weeks last year, so I'm pretty sure we can pull it off.
Let's do something and start it after this show. If people like, share, and follow. Next week, we'll do another good giveaway or two. Here, we can bring it up. I'm too far away from my computer.
I got it. Sorry.
Okay.
So there we go. Chase is going to do another giveaway if we can get it shared out and get some views next week and keep it going. Like, let's keep it going for the whole month of May. We've got some pretty good shows coming up. Mm-hmm. I did reach out to Janet Fox today because their tournament's coming up. I don't know if you guys are familiar with the Banks tournament for cancer research in Benton County. I think that's what they call it. But it's a pretty big one down in Gallipolis. They usually take 85 boats. There's 85 parking spots. It's a little chaotic. But it's
we've made it in the big times. They're coming for fishing logos directly at our podcast. Is that on yours or mine?
Oh, I don't know, but goodbye.
Looks like mine. No.
They're gone.
Thank you.
So if you guys aren't familiar with the Banks tournament, you can find her on Facebook Janet Fox. I think they have three spots left for this one, and it is May 17th down in Gallipolis. So if you're interested, look them up. But I did send an invite out to her to see if she'd like to come on and talk about their event since it's for cancer research.
Yeah.
She's going to talk to Bink, her husband, and see if they could fit that in. I know it's a busy week for them when they're getting all that stuff ready, but
absolutely,
we like to support our friends that are doing good things. So,
Hey, John. Hey, Trinity Outdoors. What's up? Yeah, that'd be sweet, Jeremy. I appreciate it. Yeah, so I guess we'll just have to start posting on that and just kind of figure everything out and let everybody know. And I will say it has slowly been growing, slowly, but growth is good.
I mean, right now we have 18 people watching us. So if all of those 18 people would just go to the link that they're sharing and share it to their personal page, we could probably pick up a couple more viewers.
Travis, you look like you need a logo. Share stuff about other people's giveaways to help them grow. Also, I know some creators don't like. I don't understand.
I don't feel like we typically do that because that's not the direction that we were kind of taking this podcast. It's typically for conservation. We were just kind of in between guests trying to get the big ones scheduled and getting all of that taken care of. And we haven't really had a chance to just hop on here and just chat with the people. We're usually, fully involved with our guests. Yeah. What they have to say. So sometimes it's nice to just take a minute and catch up with the people that are supporting us.
Yes, I like that. I like the way you put that. So, but I mean, as far as like, if there's something that, like she was saying, is like a good cause, we'd be happy to share that, benefits and stuff like that, just to bring awareness to maybe that kind of stuff. But as far as like just giveaway, like I don't care to, I don't know how all that works. We're new to this content stuff. So as far as like giveaways for people to grow, like once someone gets to X amount of followers or that, if that's what you mean, no, we won't be sharing that kind of stuff here. But if there's something to do with like raffles or something, maybe we could share stuff like that to some extent. But the main focus is conservation, veterans, and then maybe like tournaments, that kind of stuff. I know it feels weird to be up in the front. Front and center. Like my head looks so big. Like in a little tiny box. Oh, Jack. Tanya, thanks for sharing it out. Jamie, thank you for sharing it out. Twisted Fishing, thank you for sharing it out.
Connor,
I found it in my notifications.
How are you doing tonight?
Let's go.
So I do have something exciting to share about our event. We are currently at the number of veterans that were signed up last year.
Dang.
So we've already met our 41 as of today. So we have 41 veterans already signed up and we have 5 months to go. So captains, awesome. If you're willing to make a commitment, we need captains.
I wonder, I need to see, well, I'll talk about it later. But anyone looking to sign up? It's got one more rod to spool up and rig. Yeah, that's why we got to get some more viewership too, is like, if there's that many veterans already signed up, we got to have y'all got to have the captain participation. So
listen, you're in this with me, so
you
can say we.
That's how I do. Whenever I talk about Charlie and stuff, I'll say we, like I actually do all the things I'm talking about. I mean Charlie, but you guys know, like it's just we because. But
Your team.
Yep. Get it on the news channels.
Yes, Mr. Watson shared some news channels from that area, so I need to give them a call. That's on my list for tomorrow. So I will be making some phone calls tomorrow since we got our podcast scheduled. I wanted to get a date before I gave the news channels a call, but the guys have all confirmed for us. So,
is there like a local radio station down there? Like us, our tiny little town has a radio station. So do you guys know down there, like, or up there for me, you know, because it's north of me, but is there a radio station that like would do something about it or that you could go and talk to?
Dana Webb, are you still on here? I don't know if anybody's on here that's really like local to Manchester. I know Dana's, I think Ripley. Kevin is probably
Brown County or Adams.
What
is C103? Michael said.
Thanks, Michael.
Yeah, that would be cool. Like Jesse said, share some videos or ideas or video highlights of some of our trips and experiences. That'd be cool to get a cute little recordings of everybody, kind of like, not everybody, but some of your previous ones, just to like 1 minute blurb about it.
Mm-hmm. And I do have that in, on my personal page. There's a video that I made last year at the end of the year from the last few trips that we took with them. I think both of our vets, I think, are on there. The one that Michael took out. I think TJ is on there that John took out. So, yeah.
I'm looking up Brown County. So C103, Brown County, Ohio radio stations. Is that, yeah, I guess that's it. And 107.5 maybe?
I better write that down.
I'll send you
when I ask him tomorrow. He'll be like, I don't remember what you're talking about.
I got you. I'm sending you a text with a screenshot of them.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm. I just need you to share your fishing holes. Just some waypoints. Man, there's a bunch.
Is there?
Like Georgetown, Ohio?
Yeah.
There's like a whole, I'm going to send you this website too. Radio locator.
Try contacting WBO. It's out of Williamsburg, Ohio. They may give a shout out. Thank you, Jamie.
I just sent you a whole entire, you can't see it. See it?
Yeah, kind of. Those are all radio?
Yeah, all radio. It's radio locators, and it has all their stuff, the city and everything. Huh. Fort Smith, isn't that down that way?
Yep, that's for the river. Have you ever been there to the river restaurant in Fort Smith? You guys like good steak.
I've seen it. I haven't been there. Or maybe I'm just. Is it the new one?
No, it's been there for a while. They do that big steak. They call it a large steak. And I think it's 32 ounces. We get it and share it and usually bring part of it home.
Yum. I need some of that. Get a day to make a trip.
Yeah, Connor, we do need to get a day. I have a rod to give to you too that you won.
Tradesies.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. So that's a bunch. There's your all of them. You're welcome. I didn't know that existed until just now. So problem solution. Jackie. Being so good now, finally. After his little attack.
And remember, if you're fishing that event, that it's 2 days this year. The meet and greet pairing will be on Friday night at the Veterans Club with a meal provided by them and a little ceremony. And then you guys can pick what ramp and stuff you want to go to on Saturday to fish out of. And then everybody will meet back in Manchester for the raffles and the hog roast.
Now, is this going to be a weigh-in, like a tournament style? Or is it just go fishing?
Tournament style. We just have them bring back one fish to weigh in. That's what we did last year. They brought back one fish to weigh in, and got their picture taken. And we introduced them and what branch they served and
That's
who their
awesome.
captain was. And then we got a picture of them together on the stage.
Cool. I'm glad I get to go this year, or like I should if nothing goes weird. But
and the kids, I'd like to have make it more of a family event, because I don't feel like you can truly grasp how important this is for this area and these veterans unless you're there. Like, the pictures and the videos don't do it justice. And if you ask anybody that fished that event last year, like, their stories, I don't know if you saw the one, I'll have to send it to you, but one of the vets, he made a video from like the day when he got up to getting to the event, and he was like, this is like the salmon derbies, like up like north. And he's like, all of these catfish boats, he's like, these are an amateur catfisherman's dream. And there's one of every kind here. It was awesome. Really cool to like see it from their point of view.
That's really cool. Dave, thanks for hanging out with us.
Have a good night, Dave.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be really cool. Very, very fun, I think. And like I said, I hope the kids can come up.
Yeah.
And that I can too this time.
So, to be a captain for our event, that is actually a good question, because I've had quite a few people sending me messages asking if they have to have their 6-pack to be a captain for our event. You do not have to have your 6-pack. The only thing you have to do is sign up through the website. If you get a hold of me at Last Call Catfishing on Facebook, I will send you the link, or you can email us. My phone number is on the flyers that's posted everywhere, but you have to sign up through the link. It'll send you a waiver to sign, just stating that you have liability insurance on your boat and you have all of the Coast Guard approved safety stuff on your boat. And that's pretty much what you have to have. You have to have an Ohio fishing license and a Kentucky fishing license. It's on you if you don't have that and you get stopped by Kentucky or Ohio DNR. They're telling us you have to have both. So if you choose to fish without it and you get stopped, that's on you. We were hoping that would be taken care of before our event, but when I talked to Rich Zweifel at ODNR last week, he said that they are still in the talking points of it. It's being sent off to be signed off on by all of the states affected. So it's quite the process for them. And then the Kentucky attorneys have to approve it all. So he said it probably won't even be put into verbiage until October, November, and be put into effect the beginning of the year.
Connor's gonna swim
away. You probably could swim. I watched you do those competitions down at CatCon, you and TJ, kicking everybody's butt down there.
What were they doing? Swimming?
No, they did all of the drills and stuff from their training days for free stuff. Like they I think it was Fallen Outdoors that did it. They did like these giveaways. And they did like the flutter kicks and all of that stuff, like the ab workouts and stuff.
Yeah.
Those guys, Connor and TJ, they hung with the best of them. I think TJ ended up winning it, but they were like right there together.
Dang, I missed all that work in the booth. That's the only thing. Like I liked working the booth because like you knew where I was gonna be. Like for the most part, I never really left like much at all. But like I feel like I missed so many people. Oh, he called TJ out on live the other day. That'd be fun.
Travis said it was absolutely one of the best experiences he's ever been a part of. Thank you, Trav. We appreciate you taking your time out to help with it.
Yeah, I would love anybody that was a captain last year that does make content or isn't shy about being in camera. I would love to hear just like a blurb about experiences, just to like throw together a compilation video for you to use for YouTube or whatever. Like I could do some edits on it for you if you needed help.
Yeah, that would be really cool.
I mean, it's my comments are, you know. He wants a rerun.
We took a drone video last year. I think Michael did it for us, but they took a drone video from the entrance of the ramp because the trucks and trailers were all parked down the ramp. So you got to see like all of the trucks and trailers and then the parking lot full of people and just how many people were truly there. It was amazing.
That's so cool. We just need to get more people to share it out. So there's information on Last Call for that. So
are you guys doing any more with the special needs stuff that you were giving away?
That's all they needed. That's all they needed. So we went ahead and dropped that off, and they've been fishing with it, so that was cool.
Did they send you videos?
No, they just tagged me in their posts with the pictures of them catching fish, so it was really sweet.
Yeah.
Let's see. I'm trying to find.
You guys have any questions that you want us to take to Catfish Dave and Jeremy next week? So we can start getting some stuff ready for that?
Yes, that would be good. You guys have any questions that you want us to ask?
Or we can just leave it up to Chat GPT.
Lifesaver. Brown trout.
That's my cousin. Hi, Scott. How are you guys? And
I was gonna say, I don't think. Is there any even in like Kentucky or Ohio?
No. Julie, do you see his next comment? I think you'll know what he's talking about now.
Gotcha. I'm like, I've never even heard of them. They look kind of brown. Some of them do. Goodness. Should we be asking Catfish Dave that question?
Yeah.
Is that your question we want to direct to him? There's an app you can download to show the river boundaries.
That's cool. Do you happen to know what that would be?
I'm looking here too.
I know. I think there's a Ohio DNR web or app, and I know Kentucky has one, but
I'm just wondering if it's avionics, but I don't know.
Yeah, I know. Like the some of the fish finders, like they're very faint on the fish finder, but you can see the boundary line on the fish finders.
I don't know why I'm yawning so much. My Garmin mapping has the boundaries right on it. Jeff says. I can't find anything specifically. This says river app, but I don't know. It doesn't specifically say that, so I don't know. I'm not having a look. Will your vet need both? Oh, will the vet? Yeah. So will the vet need both licenses for the event? And as of this, at this time, yes.
Yeah, I mean they do have I think it's either a 1 day or a 2 day. Let me look. But they do have a like a certain day pass, so you don't have to buy the full year. Because I just had this conversation with the vet we were supposed to be taking out.
I need to quit. I stayed up kind of late watching a show. Then I got up early to finish it.
I guess we could end. I know there's a lot of talk about bait. The skipjack are starting to run at the dams again. So just keep in mind, that if you go and you catch your limit of skipjack, which you're allowed to do on rod and reel, but if you take them back to anywhere to sell, you're breaking the law. So just something else to keep in mind. I know Kentucky DNR was somewhere recently. I saw Justin's post about it, or Jeremy. One of them shared it, that they're starting to check people. So, out of state. You can get a $15 one-day pass for Kentucky fishing license. So, if you take out a vet, you can pass that information along to them. To have a one-day pass, one-day fishing license is $15.
For a non-resident, is it?
Yep.
Call the governor of Kentucky and see if he can put a mandate on that day for veterans to not have to have a license on the Ohio, I think is what I meant, river.
Yeah. I wish it was that easy, but getting a hold of those people is like pulling teeth. If you're lucky enough to actually get somebody to answer the phone, they just pass you off to somebody else. And Kentucky was hard to even get to the right people. They like filter their phone calls, and
it's those girls again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I just
they didn't have any bill with that in it. I'm like, I know, but I just wanted to say that's what I support. If there was sometime, I didn't know what to say.
And then I pretended like I was you because I didn't know your address. Like I didn't know like location. So I just pretended like I was Julie Weatherspoon. She's like, didn't you just call? Well, maybe, but I forgot what I was asking.
Yeah. I didn't exactly know the verbiage, but I'm back. That's funny. Good times.
Yeah. But hopefully we get some of these bigger shows going with like Catfish Dave, Anthony, Micah, some of these guys, and really get a viewing build up. And then we can bring on Justin and Dave back on to kind of update us and just kind of go over what they've been working on. I know we've talked to Jeremy a few times about trying to get like some of the guys that have worked with the legislation and stuff to let us all know how that works. I think that would be a good one too.
Absolutely.
So we've got Goldie. Tyler Barnes was mentioned. Was there anybody else?
I feel like I think they just guessed that it was Catfish.
Yeah, I'm just writing them down so when we run out of people for guests, like it's always nice to have different people on.
Mm-hmm. I think it'd be fun to have like another female that's highly active.
Mm-hmm.
Like Miss Cindy.
Cindy White.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, she would be a good one.
I don't know if she does this kind of stuff, but
I don't know, but we know her pretty well. I'll reach out to her and ask her.
Wouldn't that be fun?
Charlie and Jesse. I'll let you contact those two.
Yeah, you might need to do some encouragement for that. Thank you, Russell.
Yep, thank you, Russell. But remember, Jeremy says that if we can get the views up and share this out, he will give away. We'll share this one more time. Give away a cast net or two, some rods, reels. So let's see what we can do with that. Let's hold him up to it. We did last time. Give away a cast net. So
right, the number you have down.
Cast net, right?
Oh, Jesse, you can run, but you can't hide. We'll just host it while you guys are in town.
There you go.
Special edition. Yeah.
And you know what that means? Michael King gets to come on too.
Yeah. Michael and Kelly will just be a good time. I got the tablet outside. I've got the computer in here. Got a laptop, and we'll just all be doing our thing. Hi, I've been trying to reach you about your extended warranty. So fun.
Jess never answers his phone anyway, so we know better than to try to call him. We'll just send him the link, and then when he clicks on it, trying to figure out what it is, he'll be on.
Sometimes if you get a response from Charlie Weatherspoon on text or Messenger, it's really Julie Weatherspoon. Just speaking for him. I'm serious. He's like, I don't know what to say. I'm like, just say something. Like, you can't just not respond, Charlie. So I do. I message people back for him. And I try and be like, yeah, man, sounds good, brother. Hi, Janet. How are you?
Hi, Kelly.
Russell Lawson enjoyed the will. Well, thank you.
Thank you, Kelly. Kevin, hope your evening's going well and it's uneventful. He's at work.
You always know his schedule.
I know his schedule because it's easy. He only works Mondays and Wednesdays, but he works like 20-hour shifts, like a full, it's a full day.
Right. Just to knock it out.
So then he could go fish on all the other days.
Smart. I forgot.
But Mr. Kevin, we were talking about our upcoming shows and our event and stuff. So hopefully we can get with you soon and get an image of what we're going to have and get that started. Hello, Trent. Hope you're having a good evening. Oh, it's a busy night. Well, busy makes the day go fast, I guess.
This is true. If y'all are just hopping on, we shared who we're going to be talking to next week. So, because I see we got a few more viewers than we did earlier. Yeah. So, we are going to have, do you want to say it?
Jeremy Chase.
And Catfish Dave next Wednesday. He's been wearing out his live scope. It's good to take time off sometimes.
Yeah, I think he's going to take a day off, and then he's going to try to get the guy that had the state record blue.
Oh, yeah.
For Ohio on rod and reel. I forget his name. Chris. I forget his last name, but Kevin knows him, and we were going to try to get the two of them on for a show.
Okay. That'd be cool.
But I hope Kevin gets to go fishing that day, and he doesn't waste a whole day off just to do a podcast.
Yeah, I would say that he's definitely going to go fishing. Be a long time not doing anything until 7:30 your time?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then on May 21st, we have Micah Burkhart again with Anthony Brown and TJ Hooker. TJ was one of our veterans from our event, and he has shared his story multiple times for us and what this event means to him. And of course, Anthony was our inspiration to get this started, and everybody loves Micah. Micah's very heavily involved in it now too, being an Army veteran himself. So that's May 21st. So we'll be getting that ready. We've been working with them, trying to get a date picked, and got them to commit to one today. So
Chris Ralph is the Ohio Rod and Reel record. The podcast from the boat, problem solved, problem solution. That's what I mean. I think that would be cool.
Mm-hmm.
I think it'll be really fun, actually, like a fun way to do it, and especially if somebody's like somewhere with a ton of fish. That's a good way to
get it. We would have to go somewhere other than the Muskingum River because I don't have service on the Muskingum River. It's kind of like your one spot that you guys go to or your service likes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That's
well, it'd be more like have our guests go out there, show the good spot.
Mm-hmm.
I was kidding.
Travis is just trying to get us to get on the water so he can see where we fish.
Mm-hmm. He said he always has plenty to do. LOL. LOL. Podcast from the boat. Don't go too many cats meowing in my boat.
Did you ever watch the video we made from when we did the ice bowl?
Probably, but
On YouTube, it's a longer video because it was like the full day. And
Okay.
there's babies crying and there's music playing. That's why there's music playing for so long, because there might have been a phone call with somebody else and we couldn't put that on our video. So
I feel like I need more details.
We learned how to do the cats meowing and the babies crying over your video very quickly.
Oh, okay. Kind of like over
doing.
Gotcha. I just crop out stuff I don't want seen. Was there other stuff going on?
No, it's just the verbiage.
Oh,
we were catching the big fish. We were catching the fish that we went to weigh in. So I couldn't cut that out. Like that was us reeling in the fish, netting the fish. But we were on the phone the whole time talking to Michael. So
that's funny. Podcast phone, but not good. Too many cats meowing, and Travis is laughing. Didn't produce any fish, so I don't want those.
That's very true. Thanks for reminding us that we didn't catch any fish.
Well, you just need to move on down. Are you gonna look at any property when you come down?
I don't know, Jess. Are we gonna look at houses while we're down there? I think he wants to be a little farther south.
This is like really great central from north and south. It's a great central location. We don't care what Jess wants.
What's funny is that it's 7 hours for us to get to you, and it's 8 hours for us to get to Wheeler.
So if you came to me, it's only like, I don't know, 3 hours to get to Wheeler. Cut it in half. You're welcome. Can't call us cheaters, he said. Yep. So how far? Where are you guys thinking?
We don't know. We just talked about Alabama. Like that's where he wants to end up, is Alabama.
This is close enough. You don't want to be by yourself out there.
That's very true.
There you go. Hey, Douglas. How are you? Well, you know, and land around here is really affordable, so I'm just saying.
Mm-hmm.
Commercial fishing's rough, though. But hey, it can offer a job, though.
That's right.
There you go. Let's see.
All right.
Well, yeah, I can talk about what I was going to say after this, because it has nothing to do with the podcast or this, so.
Okay. All right. Well, remember, next week we have Catfish Dave and Jeremy Chase. We're very, very grateful. Yep. Very grateful for them to come on. And May 21st, we have Micah, Anthony, and TJ. So be looking for those links. We will be sharing them out. And as soon as we get one confirmed for the 14th, we will also get that one on there. Oh, and I guess there's a Hoover tournament this weekend, if anybody is available to come on out. But we will see you all next week. And if you have any questions for Catfish Dave or Jeremy that you'd like us to throw on there, shoot us a message. We'll add them to our list.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks, guys.